Happy holiday season, everybody. This is ComicWow TV for the week of November 29, 2015. I'm your host, Josh.
And I'm your good buddy, Jump Street. Just kidding, I'm Gigi.
Here's what happened on your comic-related shows. The Walking Dead mid-season finale of Season 6 aired on Sunday. Hordes of people tuned in as the ratings jumped higher than the Season 6 premiere episode. It's good to see people still can't get enough Walking Dead and televised mutilation each week. The episode picks up where it left off with Alexandria in total disarray and everyone scampering to seek shelter from the zombie horde. And Deanna gets bit! Yay! Finally, my prayers have been answered. The funny part comes when Rick almost takes her out thinking she has turned and is going to eat Judith. She does go out rather gangster, though. If it was me, I'd have eaten a bullet as soon as I knew I was bit, but hey, that's just me. Ron is after Carl, and at least this time he's not just a sissy push fight. Ultimately, nothing happens and Carl covers for Ron. Seriously? Is everyone in the Grimes family stupid? Dude, you should have just capped that little bastard when you had the chance. You know what? I hope you do lose your eye. You haven't learned anything from our last encounter. Yeah. Okay, is it me or is Morgan pissing anyone else off? His sympathetic ways are wearing thin on me. I was just sitting, watching, hoping during the episode that Carol would stab him in the neck. Instead, they let the injured wolf guy escape with the portly lesbian doctor as his human shield. This upset me for multiple reasons. 1, Carol doesn't dispatch Morgan. 2, they should have killed the wolf guy. And 3, they're now risking a lesbian character on the show, and that I will not tolerate. Rick and the gang find themselves trapped in a house full of walkers and only one option to get out. Cover everyone in walker guts. Ew, gross. My idea would have worked better. Just feed Father Gabriel to the walkers and escape while the zombies deliver some divine justice of their own. See you in hell, Gabe! Probably doesn't matter considering Sam seemed to screwed everyone at the end of the episode anyway. Yeah, great time to start calling for mommy, especially when you're holding your damn hand. Yeah, bye, Sam. If you watch Into the Badlands after Walking Dead, you were treated to a 2-minute teaser for the second half of Season 6. Finally, what we've all been waiting for. Negan is mentioned for the first time. Yeah, sorry, Glenn. By the way, that clip is BS. Why even stop when those guys were on the road? Run them over! I would have made them into a human speed bump. People are getting soft, man. But I really do have high hopes for what comes next when the show returns. Those of you who watched also may have noticed a bit of an Easter egg as well when Sam is playing with his toys. Some of the toys are from Robert Kirkman's other original series, Invincible. If you're wondering what these little toys were and you're not hip to the toy scene, they're actually mini-mates made by Diamond Select Toys. So in the spirit of giving, and since it's the holiday season, we are now going to start giving away cool prizes each week leading into the new year.
This week's giveaway is a set of Walking Dead mini-mates. These come in a 4-pack of zombie awesomeness, sure to please any Walking Dead fan. Brought to you by Diamond Select Toys.
If you want to win these or other cool prizes from ComicWow TV, simply comment on our Facebook or YouTube video each week. We'll then choose a winner at random. It's that simple. It's just our way of spreading some holiday cheer. Besides, who doesn't like free stuff?
I sure do.
To keep the zombie theme going, here is your iZombie update.
Here is to another good week on iZombie. If you missed it, you missed Fatal Attraction Live. Yep, our favorite brain-eating crime fighter had the pleasure of eating the brains of a crazy stalker lady, who we find out had relations with Clive. So, because Clive is a suspect, we learned some pretty interesting things about him. Like, he likes to cook Cajun food. Yum. He is a fan of Game of Thrones. Thanks, Dark Horse. And that he plays the piano, which gives Ravi all the ammo he needs to be hilarious this episode. You know, by trying to speak to Clive in the Dothraki language. Very cool. Hilarious nerd moments abound. But back to the case. We discovered through all this that Regina, the dead girl, was what the cops on the show called a badge bunny. You know, a woman who sleeps with cops? Yeah, we got it. And she sure did. Even the new chief. Dun dun dun. But that is not the most dramatic part of this week's episode. It's the jealousy brain that Liv has eaten. It makes her question everything that Major is doing. Kind of like that other Major stalker we know. Liv goes through his phone, stalks his Facebook, and generally questions every move Major is doing. Will this make for an interesting dynamic by the mid-season finale? It sure seems so, because I think Liv is super close to finding out her roommate, Rita, is not a very nice person. and a kind of a bitch. Oh, and apparently Max Rager and the new formula being used is like super soldier serum with an extra dose of rage factor. So in closing for this week's iZombie, I have to ask, Clive, what is George R.R. Martin doing right now?
I had no idea Rick's both Dothraki. What else is he hiding from us?
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. But enough about him. Let's hear about Supergirl.
Well, this week on Sex and National City, Mr. Big, aka James Olsen, is getting closer to Lucy Lane. Really close. So much so that Lucy wants him to have dinner with her dear old dad. Unfortunately, General Lane is not exactly a fan of good old Slimmy Jimmy. The reason we're given is because he sees Superman as an alien threat to national security and doesn't like that James hangs out with him. But once we actually see General Lane, I think it may be more that he's not a fan of his daughter getting her sexual chocolate on. There's such an awkward tension at dinner that Lucy politely excuses herself to powder her nose, which we all know is just girl code for fart or drop a dewey. Kara, aka Supergirl, who also has a fever for Mr. Olsen, would love to be able to steal him away from Lucy in her own Carrie Bradshaw type way, but alas, she yet again has to save the world, this time from a robot.
It's not a robot. It's an anthropomorphic pseudo-entity with combat capabilities.
Okay, called Red Tornado. This elaborate creation actually makes its own tornadoes, proving once again that National City can do everything but recognize someone when they wear glasses. But there's one thing Kara can't hide behind those spectacles, that she's starting to lose her cool. Between finally telling off her boss and playing Rocky Balboa with a suspended car, it's starting to show how Supergirl lacks her cousin's ability to control his temperament. She admits to James that she's envious that she'll never get to live a normal life like him and Lucy. And all that anger comes to a head when she finally defeats Red Tornado. You know how they say an angry woman's eyes can cut right through you? Well, this is proof positive. And just like that, Red Tornado was gone with the wind. Looking forward to next week, as this week left a bit of a cliffhanger when we see Supergirl's finger is bleeding. Are her powers being compromised? Or is that just how Kryptonians menstruate?
Yuck.
Well, that would explain how moody and hormonal she's been lately, right? Can't wait to find out.
That's it?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if you wanted to say some more about her.
You need help.
I do. Is it that noticeable?
Only when I look at you, or hear you, or when you stand up. Anyway, 2 super shows crossed over this week. For more on that, let's send it back over to Big Rick.
A 2-episode crossover took place this week with The Flash and Arrow teaming up to take on an immortal bad guy known as Vandal Savage, who is one of the Justice League's best villains. He made his comic book debut in Green Lantern Volume 1, issue number 10, way back in 1944, back when Jump Street was already an old man. But this being his TV debut was nothing short of epic. With this appearance and apparent need to kill Cisco's girlfriend, Barry and the team decided it's best to take Kendra to Star City for protection under the watchful eye of the non-superpowered Arrow team. I mean, that's what I would have done, right? Absolutely not. While the team takes Kendra to Star City, Caitlin and Earth 2 Dr. Wells create a drug called Velocity 6, which I feel this is going to play a big part in next week's mid-season finale, with Wally West showing up. So, back in Star City, Vandal Savage makes his presence known and freaks out the Flash Arrow team. We also meet Hawkman, who, with Kendra, have a pretty badass origin story. They're both reincarnations of an ancient Egyptians, Prince Khufu and Priestess Shiara. And so it would seem the whole team for Legends of Tomorrow is almost together. But back to Vandal Savage. This character is pretty wicked. In order for him to maintain his immortality, he has to kill and drain the life force of Hawkman and Hawkgirl, who would then be reincarnated again, and the cycle would continue and blah blah blah. But after Vandal tangles with the Arrow Flash team, he realizes that he needs to get some more firepower to defeat them and kill our feathered friends. So back to Central City to get the Staff of Horus, which is conveniently there, thus tying the episodes together, and which is apparently super powerful. Because with it, Savage is able to kill Hawkman and Hawkgirl and pretty much everyone else in Central City. But our superheroes are saved by the Flash, who luckily is able to go back in time yet again and give the team the mulligan they deserved, and right the mistakes that were made the first go-round, and thus defeat Mr. Savage, turning him into a pile of ash instead. Yay! The heroes win! No more Vandal Savage. But wait, isn't he the big bad guy in Legends of Tomorrow? How could he have survived? Fuck you, Malcolm.
Hawk girl, huh? I stay away from her. I hear she carries mace.
She carries a mace, dum-dum.
Oh, well, either way.
How about you just tell us about Gotham?
Galavan and the brothers have Bruce Wayne. They even dressed him in his own "Please Don't Molest Me" Ultra Boy outfit. Surprisingly, Bruce remains quite cool throughout the entire ordeal, even when that little slut Silver is sent to mess with his head. In the last 2 episodes, he has shown how cunning he really is, thus making me like him more. Good job, little buddy. Your characters sucked there for a while. Penguin and Riddler is thick as thieves, and even enjoy a jam session together. Woohoo! Yeah, whatever. They're really starting to build up Nigma's character, and once again, I'm loving it. Since Ed and Oswald have Gordon after rescuing him from certain doom, Jim finds himself once again looking to Oswald to bring down Theo Galavan. Maybe Jim is better working with the bad guys. Who knows? Lucius Fox makes another appearance, figuring out Nigma's riddle almost immediately in hilarious fashion. He and the GCPD are on the case to find young Bruce. Alfred took a bit to get to the party on account of being stabbed and running from Tabby and her henchmen, not to mention being shot in the damn face with a stun gun. Alfred's such a badass. I was just waiting for 2 rogue nose hairs to pop out and block the stun gun. But no luck. And down goes Frasier. There's a little future GCPD detective on the way. That's right, Lee drops the news on Gordon that she's pregnant. There's some news every single guy wants to hear. Looks like Jim's preferred method of birth control, pulling out, has failed him. But in the end, Jim gets his man, throws away his by-the-book crap, and puts a slug in Theo after letting Oswald beat him casino-style with a bat first. Oswald then swiftly tests Theo's deep-throating skills by making him into an umbrella stand. Well played, Penguin. I'm also quite sure this won't be the last time we've been talking about a character being beaten with a bat on a show. Glenn. Looks like the second half of Season 2 is about to get stranger with the introduction of Hugo Strange, Mr. Freeze, and possibly Azrael. Come on now, we're all thinking a few things right now. 1, Mr. Freeze looks like the Fireflies wintering in Canada. 2, Mr. Freeze also looks a bit like Captain Cold. And 3, thank God it's not Arnold playing Mr. Freeze.
I'll be back.
No, you won't. Ever.
I liked Arnold as Mr. Freeze.
You're dead to me. The rest of you, here's what happened on Agents, as I apparently have a body to hide.
Okay, this week episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. oddly titled Closure is not. Ward opens a wound in Ross's neck with a sniper rifle, thus killing her off. Which opens the rage in Coulson, who now is on an all-out rampage to kill Ward. Seems our good friend may have really fallen for us. So much so that Coulson kidnaps Ward's younger brother and uses him as leverage to get Ward to slip up and give away his location. Which is the castle that had the monolith gate, which Hydra is still trying to open so that they can get the big bad Inhuman from the other world back on Earth. So Ward is able to capture Fritz and Siemens, because that's what happens in the story, who, of course, have already run through and came back in an earlier episode. So Hydra opens the gate, sees there's another opening. See, another opening, no closure. Why the heck call it closure again? But this time Fritz, Ward, and a team of a Hydra elite go through it. Oh yeah, and Coulson does as well, as he comes down like free falling from this plane straight into the portal just seconds before they close it. Oh, there it is. Closure. I get it.
I'm just saying, he wasn't that bad.
We're not talking about this ever again. The next thing you're going to tell me is you like Green Lantern. Oh my God. What does an aneurysm feel like?
Okay, I think that does it for this week. I know I have to run, possibly for my life.
Don't forget to comment and be entered this week's prize from Diamond Select Toys.
And be sure to follow us on our various social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And as always, remember, not all of us are destined to be superheroes, but that doesn't mean we can't watch them on TV. See you next time.
You're welcome.